Hello everyone and welcome to Global TC. We're here at the Red Bull Ring for the first ever event in this new and exciting racing league. This league is really like no other because it's not actually going to be real humans out there racing. It's AI, but it's more than that, because whilst you think, oh well, it's just AI, that's nothing special, anyone could load this up and do it. This is different, because there are real competitors, real humans behind each of these AI drivers, choosing their strategy for the free races. That is where the humans make a big difference to what happens. We had qualifying already, the grid has been set, and after seeing the grid, each competitor got to decide for which of the free races they will use their soft, their medium, and their hard compound tyre. Of course, this is like any other racing series. The soft is really quick. It is the qualifying tyre, so to speak. It is the one that will get you speed. The medium, it's a middle ground. It's okay. It's not the quickest. It's not the slowest. And of course, the hard. In longer series races, it would of course be the most durable of the free tyres. However, these are quick races. These are simple touring car races, only about 15 minutes each. So durability really won't come into it. Not until the very late stages of the race, at least. So, it is very much about when you want to use your softer, grippier tyres, and when you want to take perhaps the harder and medium tyres and settle for a slightly worse position. Our competitors have already chosen what tyres they will be starting on for each of their races. They've seen the grid, they know what to expect for race 1. Set by the qualifying order, nice and simple. Race 2 comes along, the grid for that will be set by the race 1 results. And for race 3, the top 10 are flipped from the race 2 results, and there you have your grid. But to add a little bit more into the equation throughout this event, there is success ballast. Now, as this is the first event, there will be no success ballast added for qualifying or race 1. However, for future events, that will be in championship order. The top 10 in the championship will have between 50 and 5 kilograms added to their car. For race 2, however, at each event, and including this one, the success ballast is added to the top 10 finishers of race 1. And for race 3, it's added to the top 10 finishers from race 2. That adds a bit more in to the mix, meaning that you've got to try and add that in to your strategic decisions and how that will help or hurt you over the course of the event. Hopefully that gives you a good idea of what to expect from today's races and what to expect from the races in the future. We've got 3 races here for you today, all at the Red Bull Ring. We hope you're looking forward to it, we certainly are. If you're just a viewer, we hope you enjoy. If you're a competitor, we wish you the best of luck. Let's get to the races. And we are racing at the Red Bull Ring there. It's a brilliant start from Davison from second on the grid. He's immediately into the lead. Richardson's dropping back with that front-wheel drive VW, not getting the launch he would have wanted there. It's Toyota and Davison in the lead, ahead of Pulio and then Kevin as they make their way up out of turn 1 for the first time here today. Richardson back up into third there ahead of Kevin as he drops into the clutches of the rest of the pack. We're going to have side-by-side racing for second. Davison, though, checking out already there. Out of turn 1, he's got a lovely gap out front. But it's side-by-side. Richardson trying to make that move on Pulio, gets it done into turn 3. Liu having a great start there ahead of Kevin. Then we see Chaichi alongside Kevin as they make their way out of turn 3. These drivers all seeing the track for the first time in racing conditions, critical that they try and get the best start to their event. As we see there, that's Andre Jamil and the Alfa Romeo now side by side with the Canadian of Adrian Taichi heading into turn 4. There we see Preston Brennan just behind Carlo Durante and Benjamin Driscoll. This group of cars battling hard on the opening lap. Ben Driscoll and his BMW stablemate just behind him, Jordan Fingal, both on the soft compound tyre for race 1. They know they've got to try and get these moves done as soon as they can. Side by side through the middle sector here. Lap 1, obviously the best chance to try and get some overtakes done. We can see that on for evidence right in front of us right now. Driscoll fighting with the Toyota just ahead of him. But up at the front we can see the top 3, Davison, Richardson, Liu, all on the soft compound tyres. Then it's Pulio in 4th, Kevin in 5th. Pulio is on the hards, Kevin is on the medium. So those two drivers may have qualified up near the front, but they're taking a harder compound to race 1 here. Andre Jamil in at his P6 at the moment. He is on the soft compound tyre. He's going to be making his way forward in this race. See there, that's Alberto Sante battling with Preston Brennan and Carlo Durante. Just outside of the top 10 here. Top 15 drivers score points in this series. Only 4 drivers will leave this race pointless, as we see them heading down the main straight at full speed for the first time into turn 1. Side by side, Durante and Fingal. Durante is on the soft compound tyre, as is Fingal. So these drivers both fighting for this position, knowing that it will be critical for their event that these two stay ahead of each other. But of course, only one can do just that. Fingal on the slipstream as they head up towards turn 3. Through the curve of turn 2, onto the brakes they go, and that looks like Durante going to the outside of Taichi into turn 3, all the way around the outside, and the Alfa Romeo gets the position. Good stuff there from Carlo. As now we look further back, and that's Jonathan Mills. He was the lowest qualifying driver to start on the soft compound tyres. He started 17th, already up 5 positions into 12th. Critically, a good start for the one and only Honda in the field here, as we see Jamil side by side with Driscoll. Jamil is on the soft, so is Driscoll. These two drivers both fighting for track position, equal conditions really, neither with success ballast. Of course, it's race 1 of the season and on soft compound tyres. Ahead of them though, Kevin on the mediums. They know they've got to try and get ahead of him as soon as possible here. It's lap 2 of 8, all 3 races this event, all 8 laps long. As we see they're still side by side through the middle sector. Jamil getting slightly ahead there of speed. Durante just behind the pair of them, looking to try and capitalise on this battle. They're getting really caught up behind Kevin there, and that has given the chance to Jamil to make the move. Is he up into 5th place? It looks like he may well be. He is. He's clear of Kevin. Durante on the inside. That's really tough luck there from Driscoll. He got really badly blocked by the Toyota of Kevin there on the medium tyres. Driscoll through to 7th, but he's lost 2 positions in the process of getting that move done. That's not what the driver for BMW would have wanted there, as now he sees the Alfa Romeo directly ahead of him, trying to fight back immediately, and it looks like he's got a good chance to do just that very thing now as they head down towards turn 1. The field single file out for the most part, the leaders breaking away from the field as they head up into the first corner. We've got side by side there. That's Jamil trying to pass Pulio as they head through turn 1. Pulio on those hard compound tyres perhaps knew this was going to be a race of looking in his mirrors, and that's certainly been the case so far. Started 4th, had a good start, got up into 2nd briefly, dropped to 3rd, now then 4th, now 5th, and now he's got Durante right behind him as they head up towards turn 3. Looks like he'll be alright this lap as Driscoll's looking for the move into turn 3. Oh, there's nearly contact. There is contact into the braking zone there. You can see the smoke come up as front to rear contact between Driscoll and Durante, but that's not stopped Durante. He's still going to get the move done on Pulio as they come out of turn 3 now and head down towards turn 4. Durante side by side there with the Star-Spangled Banner livery of Pulio there, heading into turn 4. Driscoll waiting in the wings, looking, is he going to make it free wide? He's going to follow through Durante and get up into 6th place there. A little bit of grass kicked up on the inside. Pulio losing another place there. It's Kevin behind him, and you can see the battling furiously further down the field. Fingal and Mills, 2 drivers here on the soft compound tyres. Both of these two at the moment, the 2 lowest cars on the soft compound at this stage of the race, battling over, trying not to be that person, because you don't want to have thought you wasted your soft tyres. That's worst case scenario. You need to get the result when you use those soft tyres, and so far for those two, it's not going well. But it's Davison out front, ahead of Richardson and Liu, with Jamil now up into 4th. Heading into turn 1 now on lap 4. Pulio still in 7th place. You can see Kevin trying to shape for the move there. We've got 3 Toyotas nose to tail here. There's one out front in this race. The other 3 are sitting 8th, 9th and 10th. Kevin is on the medium tyre. Then Adrian Taichi is on the medium as well, with Albert Asante on the soft, currently at the back of this group, with Jordan Fingal also battling here. So we've got 3 soft compound runners here, very close, with Asante, Fingal and Mills as they head up into turn 4 now. Looks like they're staying single file. No, Fingal to the outside. He's going to try and get the move done. He's going to get pushed a little bit wide though, and now there, cut back from Asante, gets down the inside of Taichi as they head down towards turn 4 again. It's a great move there. The Toyotas swap positions, and now Asante can look at the next of the Toyotas of Kieran Kevin just ahead of him, just down the road, as now we see Fingal looking to try and follow in the footsteps of that Toyota. Pressuring hard as they head through turn 4. You can see the BMW pushing to try and get into the top 10 here. Mills just behind, shadowing him at this stage. The Honda Civic front-wheel drive compared to the rear-wheel drive BMWs. The BMW's going to dive to the inside. Is it going to make the move? No, not quite enough room there. The four-wheel drive Toyota just ahead of them, helping block the path at this stage of the race, as now we see it's Adam versus Adam for second place in this race. It's VW versus Renault. It's front-wheel drive versus front-wheel drive. Two very similar cars, similar names, heading in to the penultimate corner here, and Leo's going to go through. Leo gets the position. Good move. But can he hold on to it? No. Richardson fights back around the outside. That's not going to work. Liu is up into second place. Richardson drops to third. He may have to look in his mirrors now, as Andre Jamil is not far behind and also on soft tyres. The Alfa Romeo looking to pressure and get up into those podium places. Further down the field, we see there Asante, Pulio and Kevin there in that battle just towards the back end of the top 10, and still Fingal and Mills at the back. Now as we head now up into turn 3, Carlo Durante in 5th place, and that's a massive send from Ben Driscoll. Huge move. Can he pull it off? A little bit of a slide there. Two rear-wheel drive cars battling it out through turn 3, and Driscoll gets the move done. Both on softs. Very similar cars. Design, everything. It's a very fair race, that one, but Driscoll gets the move done as Davison out front, but his lead is closing down. That is Adam Liu, now in 2nd place, catching quite quickly here at the moment. Richardson in 3rd, head of Andre Jamil. Just further back down the field, we can see Pulio, Kevin, the two highest drivers not on the soft compound, trying to sort of hold back the BMW, which is, well, getting rather blocked here by these two just ahead of him, trying to put the pressure on, and yet to do so really, as now we look back towards the front. Liu has reeled in that gap out front. Davison is under pressure here. The Renault versus the Toyota as they head into the penultimate corner. This is where he took 2nd place. Is it going to be where he takes the lead? It is. He goes down the inside. Davison's going to fight it back around the outside. Four-wheel drive, perhaps an advantage on corner exits, but it's not going to be enough. Liu is into the lead. It is now Adam Liu out front ahead of Davison and Richardson. These drivers battling hard as Richardson now looking very much like he wants to get up into 2nd place. He spent all this race behind Davison so far after qualifying ahead of him by just 5 milliseconds. He's down the inside of turn 1. The VW is going to get into 2nd. Can the Toyota fight back? No, he goes a bit too wide. But no, the 4-wheel drive system keeps him in the fight. He continues to battle it out for 2nd place. They're side by side as they come up the hill. Davison and Richardson. These two have had a bit of a history together. Further back in at time now, battling for 2nd place in Global TC. We see Davison on the outside, Richardson on the inside. Richardson gets all over the inside curb there. The car airborne briefly as he goes over that curb, but he takes 2nd place. The move is done. And now as we look towards the back of the soft compound runners, this battle continues to fight and fight and fight. These guys do not give up here. Pulio, now it's Fingal in 9th. And it's not going to be for long though, as he gets the traction out of turn 3 and immediately pulls to the inside and clears the American Ford livery there. But they're still in the fight. Pulio looking to the inside. The Ford Focus versus the BMW, breaking down into turn 4, and it's Fingal who will finally get ahead of that hard-shod Ford Focus of Matt Pulio. Now it's just Jonathan Mills who is behind cars that are on tyres other than the soft, and he's looking to change that, and quickly. It's lap 6 of 8. We're getting closer and closer to the end of this one, and Mills is making moves around the outside of Kieran Kevin. The Honda up into the top 10 now, looking at Pulio, but look at the gap already growing to Fingal. He's really pulled away from this little fight. Mills not having the best of times, still doing all he can to find a way past up in to the top 9 here. Pulio clinging on to this top 10 as things stand. Just behind them you can see Kevin already trying to repass Mills on the medium compound tyre. That's bold. He's not quite able to get it done though. It's going to be in times like this. It's races where you don't have the best tyre really. That's where it's decided in the championship fight. It's early days of course, but that seems to be how it's going to work out. Kevin on those medium tyres trying to get ahead of the soft runner of Mills. Not able to do it though. Mills heading up the hill, so close. But is he close enough? Doesn't quite look like it as they head into the braking zone. Pulio, you can see a defensive line there from the Ford. On this corner exit though, Mills, can he go for a cutback? It looks like he's going to try and do just that. The soft compound tyres putting the power to the ground, not quite able to do it there. But now as we head into the middle sector, this is the penultimate lap of the race. He is running out of time here to get ahead of Pulio on those hard compound tyres. This would be, well, a simply remarkable result if Pulio can stay ahead, but he can't. Mills, as I say it, gets the move done up into P9. Pulio drops to 10th. Mills now can set his sights forward on to Fingal, but it looks like that gap may already be a bit too big. We're on the final lap now, and it's Liu ahead of Richardson. Liu, not a big gap out front perhaps, managing a little bit. It's an Adam 1-2 as things stand, and looks like it's going to stay that way as Davison not close enough to challenge the top two here. Which of these two Adams is going to win? Is it going to be Liu or is it going to be Richardson? Renault or Volkswagen as they head towards the final couple of corners. Richardson not out of it just yet, but he's not pressuring in the way you would want him to be able to if he was going to take this one away. Liu through the final couple of corners now for the final time. Lap 8 of 8. Is the first winner going to be Adam Richardson, or will it be Adam Liu? It's looking like it's going to be car number 47. It's going to be Renault. It's going to be Liu. Adam Liu is the winner of the season opening race here in Global TC at the Red Bull Ring. And completing the podium is Richardson and Davison there. Andre Jamil just fends off Driscoll, but in 4th and 5th place. Then we see Carlo Durante all on his own in 6th place. Further back the field we see Albert Asante coming across the line in P7. Behind him it's Jordan Fingal in 8th place. Top 9, all drivers on the soft compound tyre. As now we see in the battle for 10th place, Kevin has got Pulio, the medium tyres ahead of the hard tyres there. As they come across the line and we look further back, that is Adrian Taichi. He makes his way down towards the start-finish line on the medium tyres. He takes home P12. Behind him it is Liam Jones, then it's Preston Brennan, and Daniel Solon takes the final points position for race 1 here today. Here we have the official results then. It's Liu who takes the win ahead of Richardson. The two Adams getting an Adam 1-2. In 3rd place, Tyler Davison led a lot of this race, especially in the early stages, got the lead from 2nd on the grid. He finishes 3rd ahead of Andre Jamil, Ben Driscoll, Carlo Durante, Albert Asante and Jordan Fingal. The top 8 all on the soft compound tyre. That is perhaps critical as this event goes onwards in race 2 and 3. We look now towards 9th to 16th places. It's Jonathan Mills completing the top 9, also on the soft tyres. Then we have Kevin, Pulio, Taichi, Jones, Brennan and Solon. Daniel Solon there taking up 15th place, the final points position. The first driver to miss out, Vishay Shah in the Mercedes, just misses out on a points position in race 1. Now we see the final few positions in this race. We're going to Lewis Francis in the Subaru. Then it's Scott Sandover in the Alfa Romeo and Dylan Varstenberg also in the Alfa Romeo. We're ready to go racing again here now for race 2. We are racing at the Red Bull Ring, and it's another brilliant start from Tyler Davison, who splits the gap and goes straight into the lead, this time from 3rd on the grid. He goes between the Adams, and he leads them into turn 1. It's Leo and Richardson side by side for 2nd, it's Driscoll and Asante side by side for 4th and 5th place. Leo looks like he's got the position ahead of Richardson now, but they're still side by side as once again Tyler Davison has pulled a massive gap ahead of the field as they head up the hill for the first time here today. Still side by side for 2nd, Asante has got clear behind them for 4th place, and they head into the braking zone of turn 3, side by side between these two cars. The drivers that battle for the first one, and now we see Liam Jones up into 5th place just ahead of Matt Pulio as the battle for 2nd continues. Richardson gets ahead of Liu here out of turn 3, heading down towards turn 4. It's the VW ahead of the Renault as they make their way down into the 4th corner of this first opening lap here in race 2. Look at the battling further back in the pack. Kevin had a little bit of contact there with Carlo Durante, and around the outside of them both goes Jordan Fingal, Scott Sandover just in that battle group as well here as they come out of turn 4 for the first time. And it's looking like out front Tyler Davison once again is going to lead early on in this race, but the rest of the pack is still very much all to be decided here. The highest car at the moment on the soft compound tyre is Matt Pulio, finished 11th in race 1. He's using a soft race 2. He's looking to try and get some positions now as he makes his way through the field and is now already looking to make a move on Liam Jones, and he's going to get it done here as they head through the final part of the lap now. They're still side by side. Will he hold on to this position or not as they head into the penultimate corner? Before down the inside, he gets the move done. Pulio up into 5th place. The favourite coming into this one, looking to try and live up to it as there's some cars diving for pit road behind them. Andre Jamil, one of them there, several cars perhaps behind him as well. It looks as though coming into the pits, Durante, two drivers that had very impressive race 1s, both coming in to the pit lane here. We'll have to wait and see what happened to them, but the field files past with a couple of cars having issues. But up at the front, still Davison, Richardson and Liu, as we see, what's that, 6 cars I think that have been involved in some sort of incident here. Further back in the pack on lap 1, drama already in this race here. As let's have a look at the replay now. We are on board with Kieran Kevern as they head up towards turn 4 behind Jordan Fingal into the braking zone, turn 3, as they head up here on. This is on lap 1. We're seeing the view from the Toyota of Kevern behind Jordan Fingal's BMW. Going onto the brakes, there's a little bit of contact. Oh, big contact from behind. So someone has hit the back of Kevern and he has been launched into the back of the Alfa Romeo of Durante just ahead. Get another view here. This is from Jonathan Mills. He was falling back on that opening lap. He's in 16th here and he's going to just go a bit too deep on the brakes into the back of Lewis Francis. That is 2 drivers there that have picked up some damage as well. Lots of drivers getting caught out in this stack up on lap 1 here. We see Adrian Taichi's view as they head up into turn 3. What does he do? Is he the car that hits Kevern? He was. Looks like he just goes deep. He forces his way in between those 2 cars there. And you can see the chaos really, impacting some big names from race 1. Already having issues in race 2. Back at the front though, we can see Pulio already hunting his way through the field and he's pressuring Asante for P4. This is only lap 2, but Pulio already from 11th up on to the top 4 positions now. He gets the position done. Good stuff there from the American driver, one of 2 Americans in the field. Up to P4, and it's the podium from the first race, just ahead of him here, of Davison, Richardson and Liu, and it looks like Pulio is not hanging around. He's already looking at making the move on Liu. Is he going to go for it already? He is, down the inside, and it's only lap 2, but he's already up into P3, into the podium positions here. The soft tyre race 2 decision looks like it's paying off here at the moment for Pulio. May have not been the race one he would have wanted, falling back through the field he did, but now he's using those soft tyres to his advantage. As they battle through the mid-pack, you can see Preston Brennan, another one of the drivers on the soft compound tyre here, just behind Adrian Taichi, also on the soft compound tyre. Both of these drivers looking to try and make their way up the order. They can see that Pulio is pulling away, perhaps the win is already going out of their sights, but a podium definitely still all to play for as they're side-by-side. Preston Brennan there, making the move on Taichi as they head through this next part of the lap, the sweeping flat-out corners. But look now, Adrian is getting caught up behind the Mitsubishi of Liam Jones as they head into the penultimate corner. Preston Brennan down the inside. He's going to get both of them. Scott Sandover lurking in the background as well. He's also on the soft compound tyres after a miserable first race for him where he finished second last. He is already charging up and he's up into 7th place here. Liam Jones dropping down the order, but Adrian Taichi there losing several positions as well in that little duel. Several drivers battling it out, knowing that the podium is very much possible in this race on those soft compound tyres. The top 2 of Tyler Davison and Adam Richardson now feeling the pressure from Matt Pulio as he comes out of turn 1. As they rise up the hill now, we can see Richardson pressuring for the lead as well as Pulio pressuring for that second position. It's getting really tied up at the front. Richardson and Davison battled it out for the lead in the first race, ending up battling for second. Again, they battled for the lead early on. Will it end up being a battle for second because Pulio already pressuring them and is going to go around the outside of Adam Richardson. Gets that move done very quickly. Richardson on the medium tyres for this race. Tyler Davison on the hard, so you'd imagine Richardson should have the advantage over Davison. Pulio, of course, though, with the advantage over the pair of them as he continues to charge his way through the field like a hot knife through butter. He is not having the problems that we've seen some drivers suffer with over this event so far in race 1. We saw several soft compound runners just getting stuck in the mid-pack, and so far that hasn't been a problem for him. He's gone from 11th up into 2nd and he's already looking at the race leader, and it's only lap 3. But it's worth noting, Preston Brennan in P5, he is also on the soft compound tyres, the next highest soft compound runner. He's not too far behind. You can just about see his orange and blue car in the back of shot just a second ago. But Pulio looking to try and take the lead already, going down the inside. Would not have expected that move there, but of course with the compound difference, 2 stages of compound difference there, softs to hards, that's what's making the difference as we see Brennan now on the back of Liu for that 4th place. The Mercedes with a very anonymous first race in race 1. He's looking to try and fight back here on the soft compound tyres, using all his grip. Liu also on the mediums here, so you'd imagine in theory he should have a good chance of beating Richardson in this race, but remember, also has 5 kilograms extra success ballast compared to Richardson. So perhaps that's making the difference in this second race as Brett Brennan is putting the pressure on us behind. You can see that's Asante coming under pressure from Sandover in the Alfa Romeo. Already trying to make moves here as he is the 3rd place car on the soft compound tyres, with Adrian Taichi just behind them, trying to get himself in the mix too. He is of course the 4th car on the soft compound tyres. in this race there are 7 drivers using the softs, but of course 2 of them were caught up in that lap 1 incident, so don't expect to see too much more of them in this race. As we see them charging up towards the turn 3 hairpin. They're side by side there, and that is Adrian Taichi getting the move done on Scott Sandover, and now looking to try and make it a double overtake as he sees his Toyota teammate up ahead of him here. The manufacturers, of course, no team orders, but we look further up the road and Preston Brennan has already got past on Liu. Brennan trying to reel in that gap out front already, nearly onto the podium places, trying to get some critical points here in this race. As we see the battle continuing behind, Taichi has got ahead of Asante. The 2 Toyotas have swapped positions there as they head down into turn 4. Sandover looking to try and follow in the footsteps of Adrian. Not quite able to do it in that first corner there, but already you can see the grip difference making a huge difference to how these cars perform on this racetrack here. Sandover piling the pressure on at the moment here in race 2, only for 7th and 8th place at the moment, but you gotta say, we're not even halfway through this race yet. The soft compound tyres proving critical, and Sandover's going to the outside here. Can he get this move done all the way around the outside? Pulio took the lead at this corner. Sandover's going to take 7th, and that may not sound impressive, but is critical at this stage of the race. There's still a long way to go. The podium is still very much within his sights here. As we look further up the road, we can see there Richardson is having to defend from Brennan. Brennan on the soft compound doing all he can there to try and take this position away, looking for a move into the final corner. That's not going to happen. Very tricky corners to make a pass into there. But the Mercedes is continuing to pile the pressure onto the VW. We're seeing the battle here for 3rd place in this race at the moment. Davison just ahead of the pair of them, holding up this train just a little bit, as we see Sandover and Taichi getting ready to battle again as they reel in. Adam Liu just ahead of them, the winner of race 1, only in 5th so far in this race. Out of turn 1 they come now. Brennan, you can see, piling the pressure on a very similar way that Pulio took the lead. He is pressuring into this 3rd corner. Richardson pressuring Davison. It really is looking much like that incident on lap 2 where we saw those drivers battling it out as Richardson dives down the inside. Can he get the move done? He's all over the inside curb. He's going to get the run. There's a bit of contact there as they come out of turn 3. Richardson and Davison once again do battle here. Brennan getting a bit blocked by the pair of them just ahead of him, and it is getting very, very spicy here for the positions on the podium. Brennan now to the outside of Richardson, but Richardson can see a chance. Can he break late enough to go down the inside of Davison? Will there be any contact here? Richardson sends it from quite a way back, and he gets the move done as Sandover does the same in the background. He gets up into 5th place, back ahead of Taichi in the Toyota. But Pulio out front now ahead of Richardson, Davison, Brennan, Sandover, Liu, and then Taichi and Asante making up the top 8 positions at this stage of the race. Brennan now putting on the pressure to try and get on the podium. Richardson making a critical move there on the medium compound tyres. Needs to try and use this as a chance, whilst Tyler's behind him on the hards, to pull up a little bit of a gap, maybe give himself a chance to at least fight off the soft compound runners. But Brennan has absolutely no interest in getting held up any longer. He's already passed Davison as they head towards the final couple of corners, and Sandover is going to try and do the same as they charge now. Brennan looking for the inside for 2nd, not going to be able to do it. Sandover looking for the inside for 4th, and it looks like he may well do it as Brennan continues to pile the pressure on Richardson. As we see this battle for 4th place, Sandover is now through in the Alfa Romeo, jumping over those curbs, and now it's Taichi just behind Davison. The 2 Toyotas, very similar liveries, quite frankly almost identical, just the car number and the national flag different on the 2 cars, but they're getting ready to battle here as well. As we see Brennan continuing to pile the pressure on. As you can see, that looks like Adrian Taichi looking for the move. He didn't go for it into turn 1 on that occasion, but we see here the battle for 2nd is really heating up here. This field is keeping us entertained so far here today, as Brennan in the slipstream as they head up into turn 3, but a really good place for overtakes. Even if it's not able to be done on the brakes, you can get it on corner exit just by using your superior grip and traction on corner exit. We see here Richardson sliding a little bit. Brennan gets the power down. Again, he closes on corner exit, but is it enough to give him the run into the next corner? As we see here, the Mercedes and the VW battling it out. Number 22 battling the car just ahead of him there. They are taking this fight very seriously here as Brennan goes down the inside. Gonna make the move, a bit of a slide on the rear, but he gets it done. That is critical now. He's now going to pull away as quickly as he can because Sandover is also right in this battle. He's now closing in on the back of Richardson, trying to take that podium place away from the driver who finished second in race 1. Sandover piling the pressure on at the moment, as we see the same being the case for Adrian Taichi in the Toyota behind Davison. These two getting ready to do battle as the race 1 winner Adam Liu down in P7 now, as Dylan Vastenberg in 8th place. He's making his way into the top 8 for the first time today. He also is on the soft compound tyres as he makes his way up into the higher points paying positions after a last place finish in race 1. We're seeing the Toyotas ready to do battle now as they head into the penultimate corner. Davison lost the lead of race 1 in this corner, and he's going to lose P5 in race 2 in that same very corner. 2 more laps to go in this second race here today. Adrian Taichi trying to get himself into that conversation for the podium place as Sandover at the moment stuck behind Richardson. If he can't get that move done quickly, you have to imagine the Toyota will be all over his gearbox in no time as they charge up through into turn 1, and Sandover sends it to the inside. That's a huge move from way back. He gets it done. He heard us mentioning that he could get held up and that perhaps Taichi could catch him, but no, that's not happening. He's having none of it. He's up into 3rd place, and he is now charging forwards with Brennan in his sight as he heads up towards turn 3. Richardson keeping in the slipstream there, but I think more than anything, just trying to keep up here. As we see, Leo has now dropped down the order into 8th place. As we look further down the field, we can see here Lewis Francis, another one of the drivers on the soft compound tyre for this race, but caught up in an incident early on. He and Daniel Solon, both on soft compounds, as well as the 4 drivers we've mentioned already here in this race. Heading up into turn 3, looking for the move on Ben Driscoll. Bit of a slide there as they head out of that corner. 7 drivers in this race on the soft compound tyre. I believe we've mentioned them all at this point, but Lewis Francis not having the race he wanted. Contact on lap 1, had to make a pit stop, don't you forget, and he's already battling up for 12th place, and Daniel Solon is sitting 15th, and he too will probably get points, but not the points he would have wanted from this race after using his soft compounds and perhaps wasting them a little bit after getting damage in the early stages. Now we can see here Tyler Davison once again looking in his mirrors. Same goes for Adam Richardson here. The soft runners making their way to the front just like in race 1. They slowly charge their way forward, some not so slow, some slightly more cautiously through the field, and we can see that sort of balancing of the field as the soft drivers make their way forward. The mediums start to fall back just a little bit, and the hard runners find themselves, well, fighting for their lives out there on the racetrack. As we see this battle fighting for their lives certainly is the case for this group of cars. We see that's Liam Jones ahead of Lewis Francis and Jordan Fingal. Lewis Francis on the soft compound tyres, diving down the inside of the penultimate corner there in the Subaru. The bright orange Subaru, you can't miss that car on the racetrack. It's a commentator's dream, that car. Easy to spot from a long distance away here as we see them battling through the final corner there. And Daniel Solon also putting the pressure on here to Vishay Shah for 14th place. Daniel, another driver, caught up in that lap 1 incident, had to make a pit stop, but on the soft compound tyres, with 1 lap to go, still in the points bank positions as we see the battle for 4th place. Adrian all over the back of Richardson, just ahead of him here. These 2 drivers battling as hard as they can. Into the braking zone they go. Adrian knows he needs to get this move done. It needs to be done soon, because there's only a matter of corners left in this race. You can see Liu, race 1 winner, down in 8th place. Now we cut back down to Francis battling Asante for that 9th place. He's going to dive down the inside here. Now remember, for race 3 the top 10 is flipped, so whoever finishes 10th in this race will be on pole, and as that stands, that would be Albert Asante just in that position. Behind him, Liam Jones, we see battling here between the Mitsubishi of Daniel Solon and the Mercedes of Vishay Shah there. Vishay Shah has his soft compound tyres left yet to use for race 3. Liam Jones and Kieran Kevern, the other 2 drivers who will be using their soft compounds in race 3. Those are the only 3 drivers who have those tyres for race 3. So very different outlook for that race here, and they're all going to be starting down the field, so expect an even more exciting finale to this race weekend here. But we see the field filing their way through. We look back to the front, and it's going to be Matt Pulio who comes around the final couple of corners now for the final time. He took the lead early on. He did all his work in the first 2 laps, really, and now he just brings it across the line nice and carefully out of the final corner and across the start-finish line. It's going to be a win in race 2. Matt Pulio takes the victory here at the Red Bull Ring in race 2. Preston Brennan's going to come across the line with 2nd place in his Mercedes. Scott Sandover, 2nd last, to the podium. Great drive from him. Adrian Taichi just ahead of Adam Richardson, who holds on to a top 5 position there, ahead of Dylan Vastenberg and then Tyler Davison. Adam Liu, race 1 winner, going to come across the line in 8th place. Lewis Francis charging after having to make an extra pit stop here in this race, comes across the line in 9th place. Albert Asante coming across the line in 10th, Liam Jones and Jordan Fingal just behind him, with Daniel Solon, Ben Driscoll and Vishay Shah rounding out the points positions. Now we can have a look at the official race results. After race 2 here at the Red Bull Ring, Matt Pulio takes the victory ahead of Preston Brennan and Scott Sandover. Sandover coming from the back row of the grid to finish on the podium. Not what many would have expected, but that incident on lap 1 definitely hurt some drivers, but helped some others. Behind him, it's Adrian Taichi, Adam Richardson, Dylan Vastenberg, Tyler Davison, and Adam Liu round out the top 8 here. All of these top 8 drivers, and in fact the top 10 drivers, have all now used their soft compound already in this event. But in 11th place, that changes. Liam Jones narrowly misses out on reverse grid pole position, which could be crucial because he does have his soft tyres left to use. Behind him, it's Jordan Fingal, Daniel Solon, Ben Driscoll, and then Vishay Shah and Kieran Kevern, who also will be starting with soft tyres on for race 3. It's only those 3 that will be starting with soft tyres for race 3 ahead of us. The final 3 cars in this race, all drivers sadly caught up in that early race incident. Andre Jamil, Carlo Durante and Jonathan Mills, not the races they would want. The cars are on the grid now, and we are racing at the Red Bull Ring for the final time today. It's Asante who started on pole, but once again, it's second on the grid. Who's going to take the lead into turn 1? The poles that are yet to convert that pole into a lead after the first corner. It's Francis ahead of Asante, Davison in P3 there, as they all funnel their way out of turn 1. You can see some of the contenders from race 1 battling around that 10th position. That's what happens with the reverse grid. They get stuck in the pack. But up at the front, we can see already Albert Asante trying to make the move in to turn 3, going to dive it to the inside. That's a big move on lap 1. He wasn't having any of that. He's taken the lead, and he's now looking to check out in this race. Behind him, Lewis Francis trying to fight back after taking the lead into turn 1. May have to look in his mirrors though. Tyler Davison once again finds himself in the podium positions early on in a race this event. May not be leading in the early stages of this one, but still, he always seems to be there somewhere, as they see Albert Asante leading Lewis Francis now into turn 4. Liu, the race 1 winner in P4, as we see the pack battling it out. Liam Jones, top car on the grid that starts on the soft compound tyres. He will be charging his way through the field. We saw Pulio go from 11th to, I believe, 4th in the opening lap in race 2. Liam trying to replicate that here, and strangely enough, the car he's going to have to pass next is that driver that did that in race 2. It is Matt Pulio, side by side as they come through the middle part of the lap here. And he's going to try and get 2 cars here. Can he get Dylan Vastenberg through this next corner here? The Alfa Romeo driver on the hard compound tyres just about holds him back for now, but it's only going to be in the short term that stays the case, because Liam Jones is on the move in this third race. Matt Pulio just behind him, then it's Adam Richardson, and then behind them the rest of the pack funnels their way through. Pulio diving back to the inside there, the race 2 winner trying to stay in the fight, but up at the front it is still the top 3 of Asante, Francis and Davison. Asante is on the medium compound tyre, Francis is on the mediums as well. So is Tyler Davison. So the top 3 all on the medium compound. Could that give them a chance to hold back the soft runners if they do get a bit stuck in the pack? That's quite possible. From 11th on the grid though, it's been done before. I imagine it's quite possible that it happens again though, that we see the driver starting 11th win this race. As we see they're battling through the field. Vishay Shah, another one of the drivers on the soft compound. He's now already up into P10 after starting 16th, I believe. He makes his way up the order now, battling with Adam Richardson. Adam Richardson's been in a lot of the battles at the front so far this event. Now slightly further back down the order, but still fighting with everything he's got as they head into the braking zone of turn 3. Brennan's going to look at the back there as we see that Vastenberg and Jones side by side out of turn 3. As they battle their way down towards turn 4. Vastenberg on the hard compound tyres. He finished last in race 1. He made his way up the order to a solid finish in race 2, starting middle of the top 10 race 3, and he is definitely taking advantage of this. I think race 1 has shown him that he needs to take advantage of these good grid positions here, because he is really putting up a fight on those hard compound tyres compared to Liam Jones, but those softs in the end, they have the grip and they are making moves in this race. It's lap 2 of 8. And Jones is up into 6th position already. Taichi, Liu, Davison, Francis and Asante are the cars ahead of him now. The top few cars all seeming like they are in order of pace at the moment as we see the battle behind. Vishay Shah making a move here on Matt Pulio as they head towards the final couple of corners. Is he going to go for the move on Vastenberg? He's going to try it as he looks down the inside in the Mercedes. He sends it to the inside, and it looks like he's going to get the move done as Liam Jones ahead of the road also gains a position here as Kevern, the other driver, also on the soft compound tyres. He wants to make his presence known. He's now battling Vishay Shah. These two drivers could be battling here for podium positions if the previous two races are anything to go by. So far, soft tyres have locked out the podiums. If these two are both fighting like this for the whole race, these two could well be the two cars on the podium once more here. As we see, appears to be an incident again here in this race. Some cars in the pit lane. Let's see what's happened. Daniel Solon, of course, involved in the incident in race 2. Is he going to be involved in another one? Oh no, deep on the brakes. You can see Andre Jamil flying around the outside as well. Clearly some misunderstandings in the braking zone, and that'll be damage most likely to Daniel Solon, perhaps to Driscoll's car. Jonathan Mills started last for this race. Starting at the back. It's not really where you want to be, of course. Into turn 1, into turn 3 on this lap 1. Very risky as he goes on the brakes and just hits the back of Carlo Durante. Nothing more than that, sadly. Hits the back of the Alfa Romeo just ahead of him, and that'll be causing some damage to both cars, most likely. We cut now back to the battle for 7th and 8th place. These two drivers really need to focus on moving forward, but at the same time, they want to beat each other just as much as they want to beat every other competitor. But perhaps not the best strategy to be fighting this hard, as they can see Liam Jones looking like he's going to make another move. They're not quite going for it. Or is he? Looks for it up into turn 3, pressuring Adam Liu there. As behind, they are still 7th and 8th. Vishay Shah ahead of Kieran Kevern. Jones pressuring out of turn 3. Race 1 winner Adam Liu just ahead of him, trying to hold on to this 4th position. Liu on the hard compound tyres, that's why he's dropped back a bit from the top 3 compared to them on the mediums. But Jones on the softs, going to the inside. We see another battle behind. That's Vishay Shah going down the inside of Adrian Taichi into turn 4. The Mercedes driver making another move here. Critical at this stage of the race to try and put some cars between himself and Kieran Kevern, as those two drivers will likely be battling all the way to the flag here in this one. As we see just ahead, that is Jones still pressuring Liu. Is he going to go around the outside here? He's looking for it. The Mitsubishi trying to do all he can to get this position to get into the top 4. Looks like he's going to be able to pull it off all the way around the outside. He gets it done. Jones up in to 4th position here on lap 3. Plenty of time for him to reel in the top 3 drivers. That will be his ambition for this race. The top 3 though on the medium tyres could put up a fight, certainly more than we've seen some other drivers be able to in previous races. Of course, the hard tyres being the ones you really don't want to be on. We see the battle here now between two Toyotas. Kevern on the back of Taichi as they head through the final couple of corners. Kevern knowing that he needs to get this move done. You can see just ahead Vishay Shah pulling away just a little bit all over the inside curb. But it seems he is not quite yet able to get the move done. The same can be said. You can see that the 3 drivers on soft tyres all pressuring the cars ahead of them, not separated by much here. This battle is really exciting to watch. Jones in 4th, then we have Shah in 6th and Kevern in 8th as they come out through the first corner here. Jones really putting the pressure on here. He can see in his mirrors, he'll know the other drivers on soft tyres are not far behind him. He needs to get these moves done as soon as he possibly can as they head up towards turn 3 on lap 4. Jones, will he make a move here? As it does look like the gap at the front is closing in just a little between the top 2, so keep an eye on that one as well. Francis versus Asante as they head in to turn 3. You can see Kevern finally getting that move done on Taichi, or will he? Taichi goes a bit wide and that will give the position to Kevern out of turn 3 and heading down towards turn 4 now on lap 4 of this race. You can see though Kevern already on the back of Shah. It has not taken long to get up alongside the Mercedes driver, already making the move into turn 4. Can he get it done that quickly? Surely not. He's down the inside and it looks like he may well have just done that, but now there's traffic ahead of them. Adam Liu doing all he can to hold the pair of them up. Adam Liu on the hard compound tyres will not have the grip here as Shah is fighting back as they head into the middle part of the lap. Shah diving down the inside on Kevern. Looks like he's going to have a good chance here, but again, the car ahead of them could really be the one that decides who finishes ahead in this battle. Will Shah go to the inside? Will Kevern go to the outside? Can we have 3 wide through here? Not quite, but Shah does get the move on Liu. He's up into 5th place, Kevern in 7th place still, and once again finds himself with a car between him and his rivals for this race. It is really getting quite exciting in the mid-pack here, as these drivers all know that a podium and a win is very possible here in this final race of the day. You can see already Davison feeling the pressure from Jones as they head through the final corner here. The Toyota driver has been one of the most successful drivers out of race 1 and 2. His points so far this event have been very high, but already you can see the pressure being put on him from Liam Jones. Liam Jones looking to the inside, not quite able to make the move there though. Perhaps up into turn 3. Through turn 1 they go though for now. And Vishay Shah all this time is using this as a chance. Whilst Jones is stuck behind Davison, Shah can reel in that gap to these two battling. Critical that he tries to make the move on Jones before Jones can get clear, because we've seen it with Kevern, as Kevern has made the way past Adam Liu, by the way. It's critical that you can get cars between yourself and your rivals. Here is Jones down the inside of Davison up into turn 3. This should be nice and easily done on corner exit. The traction on the soft tyre is really unbeatable on those medium tyres for Tyler Davison, as they head now down through the next part of the lap, as we look as though we've had another incident here in the field. We're on board with Adam Richardson, second place in race 1. He has had to pit for some repairs here, and we can see it in 11th place at the back, and he's just gone into the back of Dylan Vastenberg. He's made a mistake, he's hit the back of the Alfa Romeo, and I'll be surprised if the Alfa Romeo has got away with that one without any damage as well there. So that's a problem for two drivers who have scored their fair share of points so far in this event. Jones now on the back of Lewis Francis for that second place. Two Japanese car manufacturers doing battle here for the second place on the podium. Down the inside goes Liam Jones. Is he going to get the move done already? He is easily done. That really did not look too hard for Jones. As you can see in the background, these two that have seemingly battled every lap we've had so far today. It's Kevern versus Shah once more. These two really can't get away from each other. Kevern now back ahead of the Mercedes driver as they head up towards turn 1, and already you can see Liam Jones is going for the lead. Can't quite get it done to turn 1, or can he? He sends it to the inside of the Toyota. He will not have expected that move. Asante loses the lead and Jones is through, and that is absolutely critical here, because there's now 3 cars separating Kevern, the second highest car on softs, to Jones, the leader. This is really time to make the move for Kevern and Shah. This is probably the biggest gap there's been since the start for these drivers. They know it is really now or never to get these moves done. It's lap 6 of 8. There's not long to go. They need to get it done as there's contact there. Kevern perhaps expressing his frustrations with his fellow Toyota ahead of him, but Shah going a bit wide there. Could that give him an exit to challenge? It looks like it may well do, as Kevern is getting very frustrated here, as I imagine Shah is too. These two have got the speed, the grip, the tyres to be in these two podium positions alongside Liam, perhaps even the pace to fight Liam for the win, but they're just too busy battling. They can't get clear of these medium tyre runners, and as things stand, they're battling for 5th and 6th, which is not where you want to be when you've got soft compound tyres and your rivals are on mediums here. Shah really putting the pressure on the back of the Toyota as they make their way into the middle part of the lap, looking for the inside, not able to do it. Davison though, just trying to cling on here. He knows that every point is critical. You can't win them all, and well, so far he hasn't won any of the races, but critically he's been consistent, which is something that no other driver really can say throughout this event so far. So he knows every position is so critical, and as things stand, he is feeling a lot of pressure on his rear bumper here. Kevern once again with the speed. Perhaps the fact they're both in Toyotas is hurting Kevern. Perhaps if anything that's disadvantaging him. He doesn't have anywhere where he can gain an advantage in the same way that a different car perhaps has a strength in a different corner or a different part of the lap. That could be affecting mirrors. So we see Shah once again looking for the move, as Kevern again really close to the back of Davison as they come through the final corner. Just 2 laps to go here, as it seems we've had another incident in this race. Scott Sandover on board with him. Jordan Fingal's just ahead. Sandover is going to go deep on the brakes, and again it's another stack up into turn 3. That'll be damage to most likely both of those cars, so don't expect to see them towards the sharp end of the field for the rest of this race here. As we see, the battle of the 4th place continues. Will it ever end? I hope it doesn't. It's brilliant stuff here watching this, as Kevern right up behind, but Shah drives clean around the outside of him. The battle continues, but a bit wide there for Shah. Will I give Kieran the chance to fight back on corner exit? It seems like he might just have that chance here as they head down towards turn 4, battling over 5th and 6th. These two have got some incredible speed. They're too busy battling each other, quite simply, as Kevern now. Will this be a chance to get down the inside of Davison? No, not quite able to. He is just boxed in, quite simply. There's nowhere to go at the moment. Shah now look to try and drive around the outside. Can he get to the inside of Davison? He's clear of Kevin. Will he make the move? He looks for it, but he's not quite able to make the move there into this couple of corners. It's really not easy to make moves. These high-speed corners, at least relatively high speed for a touring car, really make it quite hard to get down the inside and outbrake your rival. But Kevin now around the outside. At the end of this one, there's only one more lap to go, and they're still battling for 5th and 6th. Now, will we see a run for Kevin out of that corner towards the penultimate corner? Davison, this has been his sort of weak part of the lap, it seems, at least so far in this event, but it seems he's still going to stay ahead. As Shah dives, he's going to make the move. He finds a way through there. He threads the needle. I didn't expect that manoeuvre there from Shah. I thought he was going to have to defend from Kevin, but no, he went on the offensive. He gets the move done, and just like that, Kevin's through as well. And it makes it seem so easy, but of course, we know it wasn't. You don't spend that long behind a car if it's that easy to make an overtake. Davison did all he could perhaps just now, running out of energy, quite frankly, to fight this one off. With Shah already on the attack again. The Mercedes driver is fed up. He's just going at it. He is not giving up in this race. There's one lap left. He's up into 3rd place. Kevin just behind him, now in 5th. Lewis Francis side by side as they head up towards turn 3. This racing on the final lap. I mean, Liam Jones has checked out front. Albert Asante in 2nd place. If he can hold on to a 2nd place, even a podium in this race, incredible result for the Toyota driver who led early on in this race. As we see Vishay Shah in 3rd place, trying to take away that 2nd from Albert Asante. Behind them, Lewis Francis, Kieran Kevin, Tyler Davis, and Adam Liu, and Adrian Taichi rounding out the top 8 there. As we see Shah heading down towards turn 4. Simply running out of corners in this race now to get this move done, pressuring the Toyota driver ahead of him. And you can see Kevin just getting a bit stuck, it seems. He's not had the pace to even reel in Lewis Francis. I'd be surprised if he even manages to get that 4th place here. It's going to need a monumental few corners there for the Toyota driver to get up into 4th. He has the grip. Can he do it though? So you see again Vishay Shah looking for the move into that corner, perhaps just trying to put off the driver ahead, not quite able to get it done there as he heads into the final few corners of this race. As he looks to the inside again, can he get his nose in? Not quite able to. There is just 2 corners left now between these 2 drivers and their places on the podium. But out front, Liam Jones is continuing to pull away. He is out there, trust me. These 2, I mean, you can't take your eyes off of them, quite frankly, as they continue to battle into the final couple of corners. Vishay Shah not quite able to make the move there as Kevin does get up into 4th place. It's been a brilliant middle sector from him. He's got that move done. As Vishay Shah looking for the inside, he's not quite going to be able to get it though, but just ahead of these 2, Liam Jones goes from 11th to 1st. He takes the win in race 3 of the Red Bull Ring. 2nd place will go to Asante, ahead of Shah, Francis, and then Davison. Behind them we'll see the race 1 winner way back here, battling ironically with the race 2 winner. Here we see these 2 race winners so far in this event in the final race of today's 3, battling over 7th and 8th place. Adrian Taichi just behind him there, with Dylan Vastenberg rounding out the top 10 here in this final race of the day. Now it looks like it's another big gap here behind these 2. Preston Brennan, then Andre Jamil just behind them. Brennan across the line, Andre Jamil next up in 13th place, and Benjamin Driscoll coming through the final corner now. He is going to take 13th place, and we'll get some points for that, but, well, not as many as he would have hoped for, as just behind him, Jordan Fingal won the 2nd of the BMWs. Not a great day for the BMW manufacturer, but still not an awful one. A good start to the season for that manufacturer, and taking the final points position here in a race for it, Scott Sandover in the Alfa Romeo. He takes a final point, and that is it. Your results for race 3. So it's official. Liam Jones wins race 3. Albert Asante in 2nd place. Vishay Shah completing the podium in 3rd. And we saw 9 different drivers stand on the podium today. That's exciting stuff, and wow, I've enjoyed it. I hope you have too. Kieran Kevin takes 4th place, just ahead of Lewis Francis and Tyler Davison. Adam Liu in 7th place, with Matt Pulio in 8th, just behind him there. The 2 winners in 7th and 8th from the first 2 races. Then we see Adrian Taichi in 9th place, ahead of Dylan Vastenberg. Behind him, Preston Brennan, Andre Jamil, Benjamin Driscoll, Jordan Fingal, and Scott Sandover round out the points-paying positions. Just missing out on the points there, we can see Carlo Durante, the Italian, lining up at 16th place in the end. Not what he would have wanted from this race. The bottom 3 drivers are Jonathan Mills, Adam Richardson and Daniel Solon. Jonathan Mills did not have the luck, neither did Daniel Solon. Adam Richardson with a very strong race 1 and a solid race 2, but in the end, not how he would have wanted his event to end. That's it for round 1 here of Global TC. I hope you have all enjoyed it. I certainly have. The racing on display has been impeccable. If you want to keep up to date with all things happening in the league, please follow Next Gen Motorsport over on Instagram. You can also see the race winner posts and the championship standings after this first event over there, so I do urge you to go and check it out. Thank you all for watching. I hope to see you all again next week at Le Mans.